2025 meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you're with us, and for those watching online, we are glad you are with us as well. We will begin as we always do with an invocation. Please join me and stand. Dear Lord, please watch over this body as we make decisions for our county. Watch over our community. Watch over our men and women in uniform, both here and abroad. We say all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Starks.
Here.
Magistrate Berry.
Here.
Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And Magistrate Putman.
Here.
Gentlemen, you have before you the July 22nd, 2025 Fiscal Court meeting minutes. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Judge, I move to accept. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other corrections, clarifications, or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have a busy agenda, and we're going to start with Carrie Gentry from the Stop the Overdose Project yearly update, the STOP yearly update, which we help sponsor. Carrie, the floor is yours.
Good morning. I will try to be as fast as I can because I see your agenda is very long. But as you guys know, we have something called the STOP Initiative that we work with through the clubhouse, so that's part of my job. And we're a community-based program dedicated to combating the opioid crisis in Henderson County and surrounding areas. We focus on education, prevention, and resource provision in order to prevent overdoses as well as support individuals and families impacted by opioid abuse. Some of the things that we've been doing this year, quite a bit, we've been doing naloxone education and distribution. So we go in, we do a hands-on training for businesses, schools, and community members, just recognizing what overdose is and how to administer Narcan. We do prevention classes, educational sessions for students, parents, and community members about the risk of opioid use and pathways to recovery. We have resource provisions. We distribute recovery resources as well as treatment referrals and informational materials. And we do community outreach. We host several free events, vendor fairs, and collaborations to expand awareness and build a recovery-ready community. So some of the things that, like our progress that we have made is in the past year, we have distributed over 864 doses of Narcan to businesses, schools, and individuals. We've conducted over 20 prevention classes, and I say over because I try to give myself like a small number so that, you know, so I don't over-exaggerate. But we've done all school levels. This year we're implementing a new program, and we're launching that into 2 of the elementary schools. We're going to Ben Gate as well as A.B. Chandler. Our goal is by next year to be in all 9 elementary schools. That is called Healthy Heroes. I actually wrote a children's book to go along with it so that we can talk to kids on their level about the safety of just drugs and what that looks like in your home. The book that I wrote is called Maya's Mishap, and where she accidentally takes the wrong medication at home. And luckily she was fine, but it's just a way to educate kids on their level about who to ask about medicine, when to take medicine, and what are safe parameters around medications in our homes. We've also been in Holy Name School, Central Learning Academy, throughout the freshman and sophomore health classes. We teach all of those, as well as both middle schools. We have facilitated 3 teacher and administrator training sessions to ensure that staff are equipped to handle overdose situations or how to find resources if a child needs some help. We've provided 6 businesses and organization training sessions on overdose recognition and Narcan training. We have done more recovery support throughout the clubhouse to know that that's where you can come if you need help. We've had several. I think our number was around 70 people that we've been able to place in either transitional housing or get them help in a long-term recovery center. We host Overdose Awareness Day, and that's something I'm going to come back to. But last year, in 2024, we hosted it here in Central Park, and we had over 350 participants featuring vendors, speakers, and community education. And then we have actually successfully advocated with the school board to allow Narcan placement in all of our county schools, when previously there was none permitted. So we've done a lot in the last year. This year, we're planning for an even bigger overdose awareness event here in Central Park on International Overdose Day, which is August 31st. It's at 1 o'clock. We're doing an awareness walk starting at 1. Then we're going to kick it off. We have Soul in the Pocket coming for entertainment. And then Darren Hobbs is coming down. He's, if you've ever seen on A&E, the show Intervention, he's one of the interventionists on there. So he's coming to speak, as well as doing a little educational part of the evening or the afternoon. We're going to do a Q&A session with parents who have lost a child, someone who has had to administer Narcan. We have a state policeman coming down as well, and someone that's been Narcan themselves, how Narcan has saved their lives. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. I feel like there's so much, and I'm trying to rush because I feel the eyes behind me. But we're constantly looking for new businesses to partner with. Gibbs has just recently allowed us to come and bring Narcan and supply that for them. We've been with Pittsburgh Tank and Tower for quite some time. And so we're hoping to continue to do that, just to educate people on what addiction is, what recovery looks like, that recovery is possible, and how to save a life if it's necessary. So do y'all have any questions?
I was going to ask, we started this effort 2 years ago after a series of young people in our community died from fentanyl overdoses. And I don't hear a lot about that lately. Do you know if we continue to have fentanyl deaths, or is that eased somewhat, or maybe anecdotally?
That's a tough one because Henderson Police Department has actually stopped tracking overdose reports. Partly because Narcan is so readily available. So it's kind of a catch-22. Narcan is saving lives, but it's also limiting the amount of data that we can collect in order to see how many overdoses are actually happening in Henderson. I know of recently, just in the past 6 months, we've had 2 deaths that I've personally been connected with and knew who they were. So it's hard to know exactly how many deaths have happened unless someone were to tell me directly, because like I said, the data is not being collected, and the hospital honestly can't release that information. And in order to get insurance to pay, sometimes they have to code the death a different way, if that makes sense.
So those 2 deaths, do you know if they were overdoses, but were they fentanyl related?
Mm-hmm. They were fentanyl related. And what's happening is fentanyl is being cut into pretty much everything. It's in marijuana. It's in meth. No longer are you just getting a specific drug unless you are creating it yourself. You're typically getting fentanyl cut in there, as well as the latest that's coming this direction, and it is here in Henderson. It's called Trank. It's called xylazine, and xylazine is being cut in there as well. And it does not respond to Narcan. Narcan only responds to the opioid receptors in the brain. So if you administer it, it's not going to hurt someone if they're not having an overdose. It's just blocking those opioid receptors. It basically puts someone who's overdosing on an opioid immediately into like they're basically, you're sobering them up really quickly. But with this Trank is what the street name for it.
It's literally large animal tranquilizer.
It is. It's a large animal tranquilizer. If you do some Googling, you'll find it. They're calling it the zombie drug because it makes them very zombie-like. There's several terms for it. You'll see their neck kind of drop and droop. They'll hang. Almost zombie-like. It's eating at their flesh because it's causing blisters to pop up and to open up wounds. So it's very terrible, but this is something that's being put in drugs as well. Why? I don't know. That would be a question for whoever's doing it. But you're seeing fentanyl in a lot of different things. They're putting it in vapes even. so kids can have access to it. And that's why I feel like our educational programs that we're doing in the schools is so important, but I feel like it's also very important to know what's out there and what our kids have access to. Even as adults, there's something that you can purchase at local vape stores. It's called Kratom. Kratom has the same response in the brain, except it's causing a lot more damage for their health because they're using it because it's herbal, quote unquote. But it won't test positive on an opioid test, on an opioid panel. You have to specifically test for kratom. So a lot of people are abusing that versus abusing opioids because they have to pee clean. And so most employers are not testing for kratom. I could go on and on about stuff like that, but this is stuff that you can just go buy right now at a gas station.
So it's over the counter?
Oh yeah, and it's herbal. So is spice, though. Spice is kind of like one of those things that is being sold that people are overdosing on, or they're having some very bad reactions to. You're seeing a lot of mental health issues come out of usage of using spice and things like that because it's causing so much damage to the brain, and it's not reversible. That's not. I've seen a lot of schizophrenia because of it.
The federal government's been very slow at trying to deal with kratom in particular. They've talked about it. It's come up before the FDA several times, and they've kind of nibbled around the edges a lot, but they've not actually gone in and done any tight regulation of it, which the law enforcement world's been clamoring for a long time because we're seeing the same things that Carrie's talking about.
They're seeing it. It's just, that's why it's like such a grassroots, and it's no longer a me problem. It's no longer a substance use. It's not someone who's even a user. It's not necessarily, it's something that we have to educate everybody about. We have to continue to, that's what my job is, to just get out and educate and talk about it and bring these issues up, because our community, one, we need to know, but two, it also just saves us a whole lot of heartbreak and confusion when something like this happens, when something happens to them. There's actually a friend of mine's, it's a friend of a friend, her husband was taking kratom because he was having some major low back pain, but he started having these crazy seizures because it was affecting his brain, basically. I could tell story after story of things I've seen and read and watched videos on.
Kratom was initially marketed as an herbal opioid alternative, and people that were hooked on opioids, they were encouraged to take it to try to wean themselves off, and then what we found out is it's as addictive and as much or as harmful as the opioids in a lot of
the girls will say, heck, I could get higher off kratom than I could off of heroin, and I was like, what? Like it just blew my mind. So that's when I started digging myself, when I started hearing that. You see a lot of people that work very hard with their bodies, like coal miners, for instance. It was a really huge epidemic, and the coal company even was considering testing for kratom because there were so many coal miners that were using it. So.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to point something out, Carrie. I know I'm hitting you out of the
That's
blue
okay.
with this, so just want to see if you could take a look at something. Within the last few months, the Webster County Fiscal Court has partnered with, I think it's Beacon of West Kentucky, and they created what they call a Webster County District Court Advocate. And that was someone that is supposed to help people go through the Casey's Law process. Also, those justice system involved folks at the lower level. There are a lot of resources at the circuit court level, but not as many at the district level to try to get transition services, get people into treatment and things like that. According to the Webster County attorney, he says it's going great and they like it. If you could just take a look at that and see if maybe that's a model that we might be able to use here. They were able to use their opioid settlement money for something like that, and I know we've been looking for additional outlets for something like that. So if you could take a look at that, I think it'd be something
And that was
worth
the
looking
county
at.
attorney in Webster County?
Well, the fiscal court did it, but the county attorney, Clint Pro, is involved in it, the district judge, and I think the organization is called Beacon of West Kentucky.
Okay, I'll check it out for sure. because we're always looking to grow. I mean, obviously, you guys have seen a lot of growth in our campus as well. I mean, we have Warm, we have the Mark Center in Bowling Green. We just opened up the men's transitional house, which has been amazing. Those guys they've all got job placements. They're all working. They're doing really great things. We have our Warm transitional house. We're now getting ready to open up a co-ed long-term recovery center in Litchfield. It's called Lark. We have the Recovery Club, and we're looking to even expand that more. So it's like there's constantly a need there. And I feel like, this is something I probably should have brought up too. I brought several impact statements just from people that we have done work with, and I couldn't get it to print out. It was like teeny tiny. There was no way I was going to be able to read it, so I figured, these weren't helping. So I was going to print out my spreadsheet of the feedback that we've gotten from some of the schools, just to show you guys what we have done. But we have been doing surveys to just see where is our information landing and how is it doing. But like I said, we're constantly trying to just grow and grow and grow, but you're absolutely right. I'm only one person, so it's always nice to see what other communities are doing and see what else we can do to bring more healthy things to Henderson.
And there's definitely a need there in that district court level. If that would be something that we might be able to import here, I think it could do a lot of good.
Absolutely. I'll be more than happy to.
Thanks.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Would
you
you all
so
like
much.
to have these too?
Yep,
I'll
sure.
let you read some of these. There you go.
We'll make some copies and distribute them. Okay, at the last fiscal court meeting, I think Magistrate Tompkins thought it would be good to have representatives of the two solar projects going on in the south part of the county. This meeting, we're going to have a representative of National Grid Renewables, a couple of representatives come up and present their timeline, give us an update on that project. We're not going to take any public comments or questions during this portion. You can save them for good of the county if you need to, or we have asked both of these gentlemen to hang out after the meeting, and if you have direct questions of them, you can ask them, and we'll also be here. Magistrates will also be around afterwards. So, sir. Not right now, please. Not right now. But you can certainly meet her after the meeting. Or thank you. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Jeremy Harms. I work for Geronimo Power, formerly National Grid Renewables, at the Unbridled Solar Farm. The update that I have for you guys this week is so we went commercial on February 10th of 25. We are a 160 megawatt solar farm. So far, year to date, starting on 2/10, we are running at a 98% availability. We produced roughly 167,000 megawatts, enough to produce for 15,000 homes. Some of the challenges that we've been having on site, we had some vandalism a few weeks ago that we found. Looked like that has been there for about a month or so. We had 32 panels that were shot at. Several other panels were shot at multiple times. Looked like that is probably more around the evening time frame, the way that the bullet holes were. We do have guys or crews that do work in the evening hours, so we're very likely that no one was injured at that time. We did have that hailstorm that hit us late March, which damaged about 4,000 panels that we are currently replacing. These panels are being shipped down to Arizona to a recycling center, to where the recycling center will melt down the glass, separate out the glass and all the other copper wiring that is in there. Civil updates, as we are progressing to or be done with the construction phase. We're planning on being done around mid-October, weather pending, of course. Mowing challenges, as everybody is aware. This year, with the heavy rains that we had early spring, then the high heat hit, and then, of course, more rain after that. The grasses and weeds grew a lot faster than what we expected. Also, during construction, silt fence was placed around the outside of the fence. That was that black fencing that you see. We are working on getting that removed as we go through the areas. And once we get that removed, it'll make it, or mowing and trimming a lot easier, start mitigating, the weed growth inside the fence line. Road repairs. We do have a local vendor that is going to be doing the road repairs, Black Art Paving. They will be replacing roughly about 3 miles of road. That work will be starting on 9/8, which will be starting on the north side of the site along Spencer Thornberry. That's all I have.
The mowing, can you describe your method for keeping the properties clean, both under the panels and
Yep.
along the fence lines and by the roads?
Yeah, so mowing, we try to start roughly about 12 to 18 inches, start mowing. Try to get knocked down as far down as we can. I do have a subcontractor, B&S Services, that does the mowing for me inside the array area, and then trimming as well. So they have a couple crews going, so they try to get it knocked down between that 12 to 18 inch range.
Another question I had was about the vegetative buffer. Of course, we're looking at that during our moratorium. And give me an update on Geronimo's plans for that. You know, it's been a different kind of growing season. I know that impacts those plants different ways. And what's your goal, you think, to have those at a height that really covers the top of the fence and begins to impact the view?
We're going to start trimming around the fence line more, and then also with the tree screening. We did find a handful of them that are dead, so we are planning on, I got a warranty claim in with the contractor that planted them. So as they get their trees in, we do plan on going through and replacing them, hopefully this time before winter starts, to give them a good root structure to grow throughout spring.
So Jeremy, appreciate you coming. So understanding that there's challenges coming out of the gate, we get all that. So now that you are getting, is it expected all the silt fencing to be removed before next mowing season? That way the proper herbicide can be sprayed to help with the fence, you know, because you're not gonna be able to take weed eaters up down the fence. And, you know, ditch maintenance, things like that. Gonna be a much better handle on it coming forward for the next mowing season. It's understandable that things kind of got away from you this time. I get that. So, and I appreciate you being responsive, and I appreciate you coming for the updates and letting us know what's going on straight from the source.
Yep, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, hopefully next spring and of course this fall, we'll go through, we'll spray the herbicides along the fence line and junction boxes and stuff throughout the site to kind of put the weeds at a slower rate to where that we can handle them better moving forward.
Right, and so one more question. What about directly under the solar panels? Because I know, you know, you have some that pivot. I've noticed in my, you know, discussions and inspections and things looking. What's the preferred method to make sure that the weeds don't get out of hand underneath of those?
Of course, you know, you got Nextera there, and then also Geronimo. Ours do pivot from east to west. Nextera's, they are more of a stationary panel. So as they mow, they should be able to get underneath our panels a lot easier.
Okay.
They can, you know, start in the morning, you know, mow in one direction, and then later on in the afternoon, as they rotate
Hit the other side.
to the west, they can get further underneath.
Okay.
The mowers are using, I believe, a 144-inch mower, zero turn, to get underneath the panels a lot better.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, just out of curiosity, you said you had some damaged, and I'm assuming you loaded them, and where did they go?
They're going to a recycling center in Arizona, to where that they will melt down the glass and all the other components that are inside the panels and use them elsewhere.
All right, thank you.
Am I correct in saying that you just met with Roberts Volunteer Fire Department to help with training and perhaps provide them some equipment they might need?
So I met with Roberts Fire Department back in late April, maybe early May. Did a run through, what the solar panels do, what kind of voltages that we have out there, and what we expect if they're happens to be a thermal event to where that they can go in and help us extinguish.
And did you meet with them again just recently?
I did not.
Okay. And I think, well, they told me that Seabury Solar is going to come in and do the same sort of training. If Chief Denton, if I heard him correctly, mostly what you want them to do is not necessarily go inside the fence, but make sure it doesn't spread if in case there's a fire.
Correct. If there is a fire, our main concern is, of course, property that we don't lease or own. We want to make sure that the public property is maintained, and have them spray outside the fence. If there is an area to where that they cannot get to on the outside of the fence, we will be, they will go inside and spray what they need to, not spraying the solar panels because water and electricity don't mix very well.
And is National Grid open to helping provide any additional equipment they might need to address your specific situations?
Yep. So we're in talks of that right now and making sure that we have everything that they need, and with management. So.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question.
No, not now. Not now. He's going to hang out till after the meeting, and you can talk to him. Yeah. So, thank you, Jeremy. If you don't have anything else, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have 2 appointments to the Tourism Board. One is Audubon State Park Director David Miller, and the other is Casey Todd, who owns Hometown Roots and Homers. These are judges' appointments, but they were both recommended to me. I know them both. I think they'll do a good job on the Tourism Board, just to give you a heads up. Now we're going to hear from some of our taxing entities to hear their plans for the coming tax season, and we'll start with Clay Horton and the Green River District Health Department.
Judge, Magistrates, thank you for having me again this year. It's tax season again. I'm Clay Horton with Green River District Health Department, and so I think you all have a copy of the resolution that the Henderson County Board of Health passed at their last meeting. This resolution was setting the tax rate at 5 cents per $100 of assessed value. That is the same rate that they have had in previous years, I think going back to 2017. That's what I'm here to present to you today. I'm also happy to answer any questions about operations of the health department or anything else you all would like for me to discuss.
Because the rate's the same, we don't have anything to do other than to accept the rates, and I'll entertain a motion to accept the rates. Then I'd like to, a couple things, get a motion to accept these.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Quick update on the district and Henderson County Health Department. Anything new news you want to throw at us?
I would just like to happily report to you all that the health department is operating in a very strong fashion right now. We've had a number of years where we've kind of rebuilt after COVID, which took a toll on us. This past fiscal year, we had a large number of administrative projects. We switched all of our HR and financial reporting systems over to a new computer system, which was pretty labor intensive. This year, we are switching some of our programs, all of our environmental programs, which are our folks that are out in the community, inspecting restaurants, hotels, doing things like doing soil and water samples. We're setting up a new data system for them now, actually. We started that last week. Our WIC and HANDS programs are also, on deck for a new data system. So there's been a lot of those type of projects. We're a nationally accredited health department, which is a voluntary program that shows that we're a high-functioning health department, and that accreditation is up for renewal this time next year. It's in September of 2026. So I think this next year we'll have a lot of preparations to make sure that we're meeting all of those benchmarks. Financially, we've been in a strong position the last several years. So legislative session this year in terms of making sure that we're continuing to get strong support from the state. We are anticipating a large number of changes at the federal policy level. So don't have a lot of specifics on those yet, but I think the health department's positioned well that we'll be able to cope with that and to make adjustments and not have to, we can make smart strategic moves to adjust to those. So I know that's very broad and high level, but if you all have specific questions about programs, I'm happy to field those as well.
I know Master Stark serves on the local board. Any updates?
Other thing I would add is both locally and throughout the region, staffing is back up, where for a while there were some issues, especially coming out of COVID.
Yes.
And there's been things done by the board and by the administration to retain and recruit more.
Yeah, workforce development has been a focus of ours for the past couple of years and will continue to be. And a lot of our metrics are in the right direction. I'm feeling the stress right now because August is retirement season for those that are in the state retirement system. So we've had a few retirements that we're working on transitioning. But our staffing levels are up. Morale is good at the health department. And, we're continuing to work on those things.
I don't know, another key focus is on doing as much as we can to try to address mental health issues in Henderson and across the region.
Yeah, so we have focused on mental health the last couple of years, actually going back before that, but that's been identified not only in our Henderson County Community Health Assessment, but in almost all of our counties, that mental health is one of the most pressing needs for our community. Traditionally, the health department doesn't provide mental health services, but we are actively looking for ways that we can support our community partners that are the leaders in that. One of the things that we've worked on this past year, and this is still very small, and we think there's a lot of room for growth, is we've started the Mental Health Collaborative that's partnering with River Valley Behavioral Health. Owensboro Health has helped some with one of these initiatives, but we've sponsored an initiative called, I'm blanking on the Collective Mind. It's a web-based program that's free to all citizens within our region. They go in and Credible Mind, and they go in and can complete assessments, and it provides direct linkages to mental health services. So we've been promoting that within our clinics. We've been promoting it with our hands program, and we've been using it in some of our school programming that we have partnerships with our school districts as well.
Thank you, Clay. Appreciate it. Next, we have the Cooperative Extension Service, and Jessica and Rachel are here. If you don't mind introducing yourselves again.
Yeah. I'm Jessica James. I'm the ag agent at the Extension Office.
And I am Rachel Lake, and I am the horticulture agent. So the tax rates were presented to our board on August the 8th. All were in agreement that taxes should not be raised or changed in any way, and so they voted to take the compensating rate on real and personal property. They also voted to continue taxing the aircraft, documented watercraft, and in-transit inventories.
So the rates stay the same. Again, we just need to accept them and entertain a motion to accept these. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? A couple good things happened in Extension, I know. Going to expand the facility.
Yes.
Quick update on that.
Well, they're in the process as far as when it's going to be done. I'm not sure, but they have broke ground, moving along pretty fast. They're there every day working on it. So I expect it will not take too long. But we're going to have a nice big expo building for meetings so that we can all have programs going on at the same time and allow more people to be able to participate in those programs going on at the same time. Of course, if you're not aware, we at the Extension Office, we have programs in family consumer science, 4-H, horticulture, and ag. So we've got a lot going on, so this expansion is really going to be beneficial for that.
So everybody knows the expo building. I think it's fair to say the programs have outgrown that space, and so we're building a large building north of that, directly north. I think it's going to be connected with an overhang, kind of promenade, and then it's going to have a porched covered overhang area, a combination of indoor-outdoor stuff, and it just should make everything easier and allow them to do even more characterizing that correctly. So good news. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next are our tax rates, and once again, we are leaving them untouched. This will be every year since I became judge. We have not touched our tax rates or needed to increase them in any way, our property tax rates. Any questions about that?
Need to read it. The property assessment has now been certified by the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Revenue, Office of Property Valuation, and permissible ad valorem tax rates and revenue for fiscal year 2025 and 2026 established for Henderson County in accordance with KRS 68.245 through 68.249. Be it ordered by the Henderson Fiscal Court, by the Fiscal Court of the County of Henderson, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that the following tax rates for 2025 and 2026 are hereby set. These are rates per $100. Real property, 12.8. The gross levy revenue expected is $3,699,836. For personal property, it's 18.4. Expected, $873,964. Motor vehicles, 8.5, expected, $387,145. Public service county real estate, 11.8, expected, $112,657. Public service county personal, 17.5, $382,370. Watercraft, 8.5. With a revenue expected of $14,728. Be it ordered that a 3 cents per acre tax be levied on all privately owned timberland in Henderson County, which is required to be listed for taxation and credited to the Forest Fire Protection account. So we need to do a roll call.
We will do a roll call on the vote.
Magistrate Barry?
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins? Magistrate Southard?
Aye.
Magistrate Putman?
Aye.
Magistrate Starks?
Aye.
And Judge Snyder?
Aye. Thank you, and we'll have a second reading of that at the next meeting. Next, I'll call up Nick Stallings. A couple bits of news from the road department.
All right, I'm asking to go out for bids for a road reclaimer. That's basically, we got a couple roads, about 4.5, 5 miles of roads that are too far gone to be asphalted, but they also have some shape left just to go straight to rock. So this is kind of a intermediate phase to where we can still utilize the structure we have on the road, but not just get rid of it, and then we can start migrating these things to a rock. The roads are always flood. They were asphalt at one point in time. They're just beyond repair. So this machine will come through and actually mix, the asphalt, the rock, and the subgrade all together, give more of a common mixture throughout, and give us 8 to 12 inches of a good base, rather than taking off site and bring it back in rock. So this will be able to use what's in place. They'll mix it. They'll come back in. They roll it. They vibrate it to put it in compaction. It's kind of a one-step process.
Nick would like to take that out to bid.
I move that we go out for bid.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions of Nick?
Have we ever had a piece of equipment quite like this before, or this will be something?
I mean, typically, they do it with a lot of cement stabilization, lime stabilization, depends on what the soil makeup is. That's for heavy loads. We're not looking to get any kind of strength capacity out of it. We're just trying to use material out there rather than wasting what's out there to discard and bring in new. This is actually using what's out there. The road's too far gone to put rock on top of it because you got friction issues. So this kind of mixes all back up together, give us 8 to 10 inches of a good base, put rock back on top of it, and then we have a good stabilized road base.
No, I think it's a great idea.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Nick. Next in your packet, we have a resolution for some surplus property. These are all computers and other technical items from, I believe, the jail, offering them up for surplus property. If you don't mind, I'd have the clerk just read the summary there at the top.
It's my vote.
A resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof.
Get a motion to approve that?
So move.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we're going to have the second reading of the special purpose vehicle ordinance. We had first reading last meeting, and I've heard quite a bit of good response on this. I think it's been well received. I would say that anybody watching, or for anybody who reads media reports of this, if you have questions about how to go about this, just contact the county clerk's office, and the staff there will fill you in on what you need to bring to them to get these vehicles licensed and legal under this ordinance. So we will have second reading.
An ordinance relating to the authorization for street legal special purpose vehicles to be operated on the roadways of the unincorporated portions of Henderson County, Kentucky, pursuant to Senate Bill 63, 2025, as codified in KRS Chapter 186. Whereas 2025 Kentucky Acts Chapter 89, hereinafter the Act, became law on March 26, 2025, and allows for the operation of street legal special purpose vehicles on certain highways within the Commonwealth of Kentucky if allowed by ordinance of the local government within those jurisdictional boundaries the highway is located. And whereas the act became effective on Friday, June 27th, 2025, and was codified in KRS 186.077 through 186.078, and whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court acknowledges that special purpose vehicles are owned by and operated by a number of its residents, especially in the rural areas of Henderson County, and there is benefit to the residents being able to utilize special purpose vehicles to travel on the roads of Henderson County, and whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court believes that setting specific safety and operation guidelines to ensure the special purpose vehicles are street legal as required by law, which is important for the safety of residents who choose to operate special purpose vehicles within the county and for other motorists on the roadways in unincorporated portions of Henderson County. And whereas by the authority in KRS 186.078, the Henderson Fiscal Court has determined that it is in the best interest of the county to adopt this ordinance to expressly allow the operation of street legal special purpose vehicles on the highways within the jurisdictional boundaries of Henderson County, excluding incorporated areas of City of Henderson, the City of Roberts, and the City of Gordon, or any other subsequently incorporated areas of the county, in accordance with the Act and this ordinance. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Henderson County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, as follows. A new article of Chapter 230 of the Code of Ordinances of Henderson County, Kentucky shall be created, and Article 5, entitled Street Legal Special Purpose Vehicles, shall read in its entirety as follows. Section 230-27, definitions. The definitions set forth in KRS 186.077, adopted as law pursuant to Section 1 of the 2025 Kentucky Acts, Chapter 89, hereinafter the Act, and as may be amended in the future by the Kentucky General Assembly, are adopted and incorporated by references as if set forth fully herein. Section 230-28, designated highways. Street legal special purpose vehicles shall be allowed to the extent permitted by the Act on the highways or portions thereof that are located within the jurisdictional limits of Henderson County where the speed limit is 55 miles per hour or less. The authorization shall not extend to highways in incorporated portions of the county. Section 230-29, exceptions. Street legal special purpose vehicles shall not be allowed to operate A, on any highway or portion thereof located within the jurisdictional limits of Henderson County unless allowed by this ordinance. B, on any highway or portion thereof that is controlled access system, including but not limited to an interstate or parkway. Or C, on any highway or portion thereof where the United States Department of Agriculture prohibits special purpose vehicles. Section 230-30, prohibitions. A, street legal special purpose vehicles are prohibited from traveling a distance greater than 20 miles on a highway displaying centerline pavement markings. And B, many trucks shall not be operated as street legal special purpose vehicles on a highway that has been constructed pursuant to a federal highway program. Section 230-31, operation requirements. Before any owner of a street legal special purpose vehicle as defined by Section 1 of the Act may operate or permit its operation upon a highway, the street legal special purpose vehicle shall, A, be equipped with all of the required safety equipment in KRS 186.0771C1. B, be registered with the county clerk's office in accordance with KRS 186.020. C, display the registration plate issued by the county clerk's office. D, be insured by the owner or the operator for the payment of tort liabilities in the same form and amounts as set forth in KRS 304-39-110 for motorcycles. And E, comply with all other requirements of the act and of this ordinance. Section 23032, effective date. The ordinance shall be in effect on August 15th, 2025. On first reading of the foregoing ordinance and its regular meeting on July 22nd, 2025. Now you.
Okay. Before we take a vote, Steve wanted to mention something.
Just want to point out, it looks like there's a typo in that section 1, section 230-27, referred to adopted as low pursuant to section 1.1 of 2025 acts. It should be as now pursuant. Just a scrivener's error there.
With that clarification, motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
We need to get out there somehow, maybe put this in some layman terms so people can understand, because this is not this is lawyer garb. we need to get Kentucky garb out. Maybe.
I think it would be helpful to have something that both the sheriff's office and the county clerk's office could give out to explain it. Also,
yes,
the issue with the fact that we can only make it valid in the unincorporated parts of the county, you know, exactly where city limits of some places start and stop sometimes gets a little thorny there. So it might even be useful for either the sheriff or the clerk's office to get with GIS, see if they can, you know, help them create some sort of map they can hand out or something like that. Or if those cities choose not to adopt something similar, you know, perhaps they could put signs up as people are coming in if they don't want them in their cities. That to me seems to be the biggest thing, is people saying, hey, the county passed this, I can drive this anywhere, and then they go into an incorporated city that all of a sudden says, no, we have a problem with that.
well, just the way it describes roads, you know, what road I can ride on, what road I can't, it's.
And the language you see in here tracks very closely the statute that was passed, so we had to kind of adopt that kind of legalese sounding language.
Right.
But in general, if it's in an unincorporated part of the county and it doesn't have a center line on it, you're going to be good, as long as you're otherwise legal and registered and have insurance and all that stuff.
Right.
And the 20 miles on a center line road, that's going to get you most places in Henderson, because you're not going to be 20 miles on a center line continuously a whole lot, especially if you're having to avoid city limits. You're going to go on some non-center line roads to get there. But you're right. I think this can lead to some confusion, and I think good communication from the sheriff's department and the clerk's office as people are there to register those things. Try to do some sort of education to them as they're in there, and our office will be happy to work with the sheriff or the clerk's office.
And I'll ask Sheriff Stoffer if the Sheriff's Association has developed any kind of literature around communicating this, or any resource you might have to help communicate this.
We hand out information currently when they come to get it inspected. The big thing is you can't write it in the city of Henderson. That's what everybody's going to want to do.
Or Roberts,
The city of
or
Henderson
Cardinal.
says it. I understand that people are thinking that they can, now that they're legalized, that they can come to the city.
Right.
And until the city of Henderson says you can write them in here, you can't write them. Obviously, Ford and Roberts are the same way. The questions that we get is you can't write them in the city until they tell you you can write them in the city.
For the record, because you're not the mic, I'm going to say, relay Sheriff Stoffer's comments about he's worried about people thinking they can ride them in cities. You've got to be careful about that. And there are some information handouts you'll be able to provide people, especially when they get them inspected. So there should be some info related.
That's all.
I got one question.
Thank you.
Mayor Sellers, do you, as Robert, are the city limits marked pretty well? Do y'all have, I mean, you thought about that? Maybe, I mean, I don't know what y'all are going to do about this, but
Maybe
Maybe.
it's good to have Mayor Sellers come up to the mic, so I don't have to try to summarize it. Sorry.
come on up here, you need to
We
stretch
just needed
anyway.
to be on the record, you know.
No, it's not marked very well.
No.
You know, it'd be hard unless the main roads had a sign there to know where it started and stopped, because so much property is so jagged around that you don't know, so.
And Steve, am I right in saying that Roberts can pass this as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the statute specifically leaves it to cities to make their own decisions on this one way or
Okay,
another.
so very simply, if we don't pass something similar to this, what does that mean?
If the cities do not pass something specifically to allow it, then it's not allowed.
In the city, in your
In the
city?
city.
No special purpose vehicles
No ordinance, no vehicles.
are allowed. And I'm assuming special purpose vehicles are side-by-sides, four-wheelers, scooters.
Well, particularly
What else is there?
particularly, side-by-sides
Okay.
and certain ATVs. They have to meet certain safety standards according to the statute and whatnot, but, so it's not just anything.
Okay.
But, and that's part of the inspection process that the sheriff's department has. But yes, if the cities choose not to pass an ordinance specifically allowing it, then they're not allowed. Because the default state law is not allowed.
Okay.
But the state allowed counties to go and cities to say, okay, we can have these under certain circumstances.
Okay.
And so, but they didn't allow the county to pass that for cities.
Okay.
Right?
I
So-
understand
So
better
then, so
now
the default state law is no, but you could choose to make it. yes.
unincorporated areas, you've passed this ordinance.
Although
It's
check with your
okay.
city attorney. I can't,
Okay.
I don't want to get them mad at me for giving legal advice to the city, but,
Okay.
but generally that's the
Okay.
case.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you. Did we take a vote?
We took the vote, we need to have a motion. Sorry.
So move.
Second.
I think we need to call a roll on this one, so we'll call a roll.
All right. Magistrate Starks,
Aye.
Magistrate Barry,
Aye.
Magistrate Southard,
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Aye.
Magistrate Putman.
Butch?
Butch.
Butch, are you okay?
I don't think I am.
Do we need to call an ambulance?
No.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah. Watch it. Hey.
Sheriff's going back there.
He's being attended to. We're going to stay with him.
We need you to vote.
Yeah,
in his place.
and I'll vote aye, too. I apologize, but for the reading of the tax rates, we voted, I failed to get a motion and a second. Can you do that over, please? Get a motion and a second to approve county tax rates.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Can we call the roll, please?
Yeah. Magistrate, sorry, I'm a little shaken. Magistrate Starks,
Aye.
Magistrate Barry,
Aye.
Magistrate Southard,
Aye.
Magistrate Putman. I'm sorry, Magistrate Tompkins.
Aye.
And do you want to vote?
Yes.
Please.
Aye.
Judge Snyder.
Thank you. Eric, you want to come up and give us a quick rundown on the grant you're applying for?
That's the litter abatement grant that we get from the state every year. It's to help pick up litter off county roads. Normally, we get between 35 and 40,000, but it's also based on if the city applies as well. If the city doesn't apply, then we are technically responsible to pick up city roads as well. So we don't really know how much we get until we'll know later this year.
Okay. And this one we get every year. I'm going to be signing it, so can I get a motion to allow me to sign the grant?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Eric. Good luck.
Thank you.
I think Sheila is helping with
Yeah.
Butch.
Luckily, she's a nurse.
Yeah.
Yep. And Sheriff's
We have,
back. Oh,
we
there
have
he is.
the sheriff's monthly reports in your packet. These are the basic reports. Get a motion to approve those.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You want to add anything to that, Chip?
Yes, we're going to purchase 3 vehicles that were budgeted from off-state contract. We have 3, there's 4 vendors on the state contract. We have prices from 3, and we're getting them from Don Franklin and Somerset.
Considering the price of those, entertain a motion to allow Chip to go buy those.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Deal. Mr. Gold, your report.
Sheila's back in here if you want to do the.
Sheila, you want to come give your coroner's report? Thank you for helping with Magistrate Putman. I appreciate it.
Our report for July looks like our busiest month for the year, which is not necessarily a good thing, but is what it is. And of that 15 deaths for the month, we had 9 that were natural and 3 suicides. And the cremation volume continues to be almost double what our caseload is. So, of the 78 or 76 cremations for the year, half of them are not coroner cases, thankfully, or we'd really have numbers. Any questions?
No. Questions of Sheila? I will say it's great to see your grandson home.
He got to come home Sunday for the day, and he's back in Kentucky at least anyway, so.
Excellent. Thank you.
Appreciate all the prayers, because
Yep.
God's working.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gold.
Judge, I've got several checks today. Interest in the amount of $87.26. Another interest check, $30.40. Jail fees collected, $97.50. Reimbursement, $4,654.64. Another interest check, $77.05, and $265.55, and $87.27, bringing today's total to $5,299.67. And the fiscal year to date, $22,921.09.
Motion to accept the, Yep. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next we have Treasurer Ryder.
You have received a copy of the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 annual settlement, and I'm here to formally present that. There are 4 parts to this. The first part being the statement of revenues by account number for each fund. Number 2 is statement of appropriations by department account number for each fund. The third part is statement of assets, which is bank account balances for each fund. Fourth is annual receipts for each fund, and 5th is the annual total paid to each vendor for each fund. This has been advertised, but the notice of this has been advertised and published.
Any questions about this? I hope you had a chance to look over it, basically recapping another very successful year, both in accurately predicting our revenue and also holding the line on spending. and making sure we all finish within budget and not wasting money. And proud of all the department heads and elected officials for helping us do that. Again, as I mentioned, in the state of the county, we are among the top 1% of counties our size in our financial strength, and among the top 10% in counties across the Commonwealth of all sizes in our financial strength. So it's allowing us to do things that other counties our size might not be able to do, and do them with speed if we need to, with no debt. We are very flexible, and I think that's just a reflection of the hard work everybody's done to make sure we budget accurately and spend wisely. So thank you. And I'll add to that. In your mail slots is a analysis from Compass Municipal Advisors, projecting some things for the coming year. We always have them put together an analysis once we have this information, looking ahead, and also showing what happened in the last year in graphic form that's kind of easy to read. So I encourage you to get a copy of that, take a look at it as we closely examine reducing our insurance premium tax by half. Some of these projections from Compass Municipal Advisors help a lot in helping us understand the feasibility of that. So based on this report and those projections, I'm very bullish about the future. Thank you.
You have received the transfers. They are as presented. This is redistributing appropriations within the existing budget, and these are primarily projecting future estimates for the present fiscal year.
Any questions about transfers? Get a motion to accept transfers?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I do have claims. From the general fund to Terry Harmon, $635.97. This is for reimbursement of sheriff's supplies expense and is to come from the sheriff's vehicles appropriation line. To Don Franklin Auto, $125,274. This is for the 3 Dodge 2025 Durangos that the sheriff spoke of earlier, and it's to come from the sheriff's vehicle appropriation line. These were budgeted. To Turner's Tree Service, $2,650. This is for replacement and repairs of EMA sirens located in Roberts and Spotsville and is to come from the EMA supplies appropriation line. To Darren Fegley, $2,000. This is for the creation of the presentation for the State of the City County address and is to come from the advertising for fiscal court appropriation line. To Thomas and Barbecue, $672.40. This is for the Volunteer Fire Department's Chiefs Meet Dinner, which was hosted by the county and is to come from the advertising for fiscal court appropriation line. From the jail fund to Advanced Document Solutions, $842.71. This is for copier expenses and is to come from the data processing equipment appropriation line. To U.S. Bank, which is the credit card, $2,306.69. The majority of this is to come from the office supplies and contracted services appropriation lines.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pay the claims. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move to good of the county. If anybody'd like to come forward and say anything for good of the county, I'm more than happy to come. Hearing none, we'll go around the horn as we obviously think about Master Putman. Master Southern, anything for good of the county?
Getting really dry out there.
Yeah.
So it's just, if we do any burning anything, please be careful, because it's, I know I was complaining about it being wet earlier this year, now I'm complaining about it being dry, but it's a farmer's life. We worry about wet and dry. But all's good in District 3.
Thank you. Master Tompkins?
No, sir.
Very good. Master Starks?
Thank you, Judge. And Great to see everybody here today. Just wanted to point out that we've got Taffy Opry, another great show by Bob Park, and a lot of great volunteers in our community, so be sure to support that coming up later this month out at the Fine Arts Center. Just wrapped up another successful bluegrass at the park. Saw a lot of happy people down there enjoying some great music, even though it was really hot. I think the hand fans were going overtime. But, and hats off to actually the Father Bradley Shelter. They put on the Fox on the Run race. My wife actually participated in that, and I'll publicly say she got third place, so I'm very proud of her in her age division. So she's a walker. She's not really a runner, but still, it was just a beautiful afternoon, evening here on the banks of the Ohio River, and we're so lucky to be here in this part of God's green earth, and just happy to share in all these activities. Do be safe. I don't know if we've had any heat-related deaths so far this summer, but let's be very careful with that as well as the dry conditions, as or as Tim pointed out. And I think for now that's it, Judge. Everything else is good.
Thank you. Master Barry?
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Bill, for mentioning Bluegrass in the Park. I worked down there all weekend. It was a great success. A lot of people. It was hot, but we still had a big crowd. As Attorney Gold, he was there too, and helped us. And I think you were there too, Judge, right? Or did you do some?
This one I was afraid I was going to have to miss.
You did. Well, I was wondering, but I thought you came maybe when I wasn't there. I wasn't sure who was doing all the MC stuff. But anyway, it was a great success. Glad everybody came. Thank everybody for being here today, and good in District 1. Thank you.
Mr. Gold.
Just want to echo Bluegrass in the Park. It was a fantastic event, and you go back about 10 years ago, and really it looked like that festival was kind of on life support. And what's happened over the last 10 years, I mean, we really bring in a whole lot of folks into our community with that. And one of the things that I always like to do is ask people where they're from. We had people from all over the nation there, and it was really impressive. About a third of the folks were from Henderson County, and about 2/3 were from, when I asked everybody to raise their hands or clap if they were from more than 50 miles away, that was about 2/3 of the people. And so we were, that's another week a year where we get to import dollars into our local economy, and that's good because we export them way too often. So it's a great way to show off our town and bring some money in. So that's always a good thing. Obviously, thoughts are with Magistrate Putman. I do want to also build on what Magistrate Chark said about the Taffy Opry. For anybody that's not aware of the Taffy Opry, that is a comedian Bob Park has been doing those for quite a few years, and he at 93 he says this is his last, but we never believe him when he says it's his last. You can get tickets at the Depot Welcome Center, Olive Leaf, and Abba's Music, and you can get them at the door. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, August 23rd. So it's going to be the 23rd at 7 p.m.
At the Fine Arts Center.
At the Fine Arts Center, and the 24th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $20. It's a lot of fun. A lot of us acting real silly, and there's some great music. I always say it's kind of like, for those of you that remember, it's like Hee Haw. Some corny jokes, but also some really great music. So a lot of fun, and all the proceeds go to charity. So it's a great thing, and it's great to be part of that. Hope to see everybody out there. It's a good time. Other than that, things are good in the county attorney's office.
Thank you. We are going to have to go into executive session to do two things. Number one, discuss potential litigation or pending litigation, and also to discuss economic development plan involving some potential land acquisition. So with that is KRS 61.810C and G. So I entertain a motion to go into executive session. I do anticipate taking a vote coming out of this session, but it's not going to be earth-shattering or anything, and then we'll be adjourning. Two votes. So entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Entertain a motion to go back in, out of executive session, back in public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Also, we do need to take a vote on accepting the annual report, the final statement on our finances. So we have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any questions about that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will have to take two votes, and I'll let Mr. Gold briefly describe what we're going to be voting on.
All right, Judge, as many of you are aware, the county, along with many other counties, cities, and states across the nation, have been involved in opioid settlement litigation or litigation against opioid marketers and wholesalers with regard to the marketing and other misdeeds regarding opioid medication. And part of that involves the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma. They are known for developing and marketing OxyContin. What has happened is that Purdue Pharma has filed bankruptcy. There's a pending bankruptcy plan before the bankruptcy court that would involve some of the proceeds being set aside for the litigants in these actions. Our attorneys have strongly recommended that we vote yes to approve that bankruptcy plan, and then would be asking for a vote to allow the judge to cast a vote on behalf of Henderson County to approve that participation in the bankruptcy plan regarding Purdue Pharma. And then secondarily to that, there is ongoing litigation against the Sackler family regarding those, what will be going to them essentially as part of that bankruptcy plan. And it is also the strong recommendation of our attorneys to participate in the, or to sign a participation agreement regarding the Sackler family that is required to receive any funds directly from the Purdue settlement. So two things be, number one, to approve participation in the Purdue Pharma bankruptcy plan, and number two, to sign the Sackler participation agreement.
Get a motion to approve my signing the participating in the Purdue Pharma bankruptcy plan.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions about that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Also a motion to allow me to sign on behalf of Fiscal Court participating in the Sackler bankruptcy.
Or participation agreement.
Participation agreement, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions about that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor can leave. Thank you.